Imagine this, you're ready to head to work, waiting for your regular bus, but it never shows up. This could be a reality for many commuters as Go Northeast drivers have rejected a £14 and 57 pence deal, leading to a strike that starts tomorrow. It's a classic standoff between employers and employees. The drivers have made their decision loud and clear. The proposed deal is not acceptable. This refusal is more than just a statement. It's a catalyst for a significant event, a strike, and not just a one-off protest. We're talking about a full-blown 12-week-long strike. Now, 12 weeks is a considerable period. 3 months of potential disruption, uncertainty, and inconvenience. The wheels of the buses will come to a halt, and with them, the regular rhythm of many people's daily commute. And this is not just about the drivers. It's about everyone who depends on the Go Northeast services to get to work, school, or anywhere else they need to go. In fact, the only services that will remain operational during this period are the school contracts, providing some relief for parents and children. But for the rest of the community, the days ahead are going to be challenging. The usual hustle and bustle of the morning commute will be replaced with a tense wait for a bus that will never arrive. But what's the root of this issue? Why have the drivers rejected the deal? It's not just about the numbers on a paycheck, it's about the value placed on their work, their skills, and their contribution to the community. It's about standing up for what they believe is fair compensation for their services. So what does this mean for everyday commuters, and how will it affect the public transport system? The answers to these questions will unfold in the coming weeks, but for now, brace yourselves for the ride, or rather the lack of one. For those who rely on public transport, strikes can mean a complete overhaul of their daily routine. The usual rhythm of life, the familiar humdrum of the daily commute, can come to a grinding halt. The convenience of hopping on a bus or train is replaced with a scramble to find alternatives. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, ready for another day. You walk to the bus stop, expecting the same bus that has faithfully carried you to work every day. But today, it doesn't show up. The strike has begun. Suddenly, your commute isn't just the 20-minute bus ride it used to be. Now it's a complex puzzle. You're juggling schedules, trying to coordinate carpooling with colleagues, or perhaps braving the elements on a bike. Maybe you're resorting to costly taxi rides, or you're spending extra hours on foot. The impact is real, and it's felt every morning and evening each time you step out the door. Consider those who don't have the luxury of a flexible work schedule, or those who rely on public transport for essential trips. The elderly, for instance, who depend on buses for their doctor's appointments, or parents who need to get their kids to school. Speaking of school, there's a glimmer of hope. The strike won't affect school contracts. But what about the teachers, the staff, the parents who work elsewhere? Their daily commutes will still be disrupted. And let's not forget about punctuality. With the strike, longer travel times are inevitable. Arriving late at work or school becomes the norm, not an exception. The knock-on effects are significant, causing stress, reducing productivity, and impacting daily life in countless ways. In the face of a strike, the daily commute transforms from a routine task into a daunting challenge. It's not just about getting from point A to point B anymore. It's a test of resilience, of adaptability, of patience. But commuters aren't the only ones affected. Let's take a look at the larger picture. A public transport strike doesn't just disrupt commutes, it can have a ripple effect across the entire community. And these ripples can turn into waves, reshaping the landscape of our everyday lives. Think about it. Public transport is the lifeblood of our cities, the arteries that keep our bustling communities moving. When these arteries are blocked, the ripple effects are felt far and wide. Businesses suffer as employees struggle to get to work, or even worse, can't make it at all. This could lead to a decrease in productivity, potentially impacting the local economy. More cars on the road is another consequence. As people scramble for alternatives, many will resort to driving. This influx of vehicles can lead to increased traffic congestion, longer travel times, and heightened frustration among drivers. It's a chain reaction that affects everyone, even those not directly linked to public transport. And let's not forget about the environmental implications. More cars mean more emissions, contributing to air pollution and exacerbating climate change. It's a stark reminder of how interconnected our actions are with our environment. Moreover, the strain on other public transportation systems cannot be overlooked. As commuters seek alternatives, these systems often bear the brunt of the increased demand. This sudden influx can lead to overcrowding, delays, and a decline in service quality. It's like a domino effect. One piece falls and the rest follow. And then there's the social impact. Strikes often highlight inequalities in our society, as those who rely heavily on public transport, often the most vulnerable among us, are hit the hardest. They are the ones left stranded, their daily routines disrupted, their lives put on hold. Strikes also put a spotlight on the workers themselves. They are the ones who keep our cities moving, and their concerns need to be addressed. Their voices echo through the empty bus lanes and deserted train stations, a resounding call for change that cannot be ignored. Strikes are a serious matter, but they don't happen without reason. So why are the Go Northeast drivers striking? Strikes are often the last resort for workers who feel their needs aren't being met. This sentiment rings true for the Go Northeast drivers who have chosen to strike, a decision not taken lightly. At the heart of this industrial action is the rejection of a deal that was on the table. The deal? A pay rate of £14.57. For the drivers, this figure simply wasn't enough. It failed to meet their expectations and fell short of what they believe is a fair wage for their work. But the dissatisfaction with the proposed pay rate is just the tip of the iceberg. Delving deeper, we find issues that go beyond the monetary. Working conditions, for instance, are a significant factor. Workers are increasingly demanding better conditions, ones that ensure their safety, dignity, and well-being on the job. Then there are the matters of pensions and job security, crucial aspects that contribute to the overall employment package. These factors, together with the pay dispute, have led the drivers to the point of strike action. Strikes, while disruptive, are a form of dialogue, a way for workers to communicate their dissatisfaction and to demand change. They are an expression of workers' rights, a reminder that every job comes with a set of expectations and needs that should be met. In the case of the Go Northeast drivers, the strike is a call for better pay, improved working conditions, and a more secure future. It's a cry for recognition, for fairness, and for respect. Strikes may cause disruption, but they also bring important issues to the forefront. So, what's next? As the strike looms, everyone is left wondering what's next. Indeed, the future seems uncertain, shrouded by the fog of industrial unrest. As the drivers of Go Northeast steadfastly reject the £14.57 deal, the possibility of strikes raises several questions about the future. One potential outcome of this situation could be a renegotiation between the drivers and Go Northeast. In the face of ongoing strikes, both parties might feel the need to return to the negotiation table. Perhaps they could find a middle ground, a solution that addresses the drivers' concerns while also maintaining the sustainability of the bus company. After all, compromise is often the key to resolving such disputes. Alternatively, the drivers could continue to reject the deal, leading to an extended period of strikes. This would not only cause further disruptions to public transport, but could also have far-reaching implications for the transport system as a whole. Long-term strikes could lead to a decrease in public confidence in the reliability of the service, potentially driving commuters to seek alternative means of transport. This could result in a shift in commuting patterns, with people increasingly turning to cars, bikes, or even walking. On the other hand, the strike could prompt Go Northeast to reassess their current offer. Recognizing the dissatisfaction among their drivers, they might decide to revise the £14.57 deal. This could lead to an improved wage offer, which could potentially resolve the current dispute and prevent future strikes. But as we peer into the future, it's important to remember that these are all potential outcomes. The reality could unfold in a number of different ways, influenced by a multitude of factors that are currently unknown or unpredictable. The only certainty is that the coming weeks will be crucial in shaping the future of public transport in the region. As the strike unfolds, commuters, workers, and the entire community will be watching closely, waiting to see what happens next.